In the hallowed halls of Bumbletown Elementary, room 12, something extraordinary was afoot. Mrs. Appleblatt, the art teacher known for her explosive enthusiasm and questionable taste in floral scarves, had decided it was time for her young Picassos to try their hand at a large-scale painting. The catch? It was to be a group project. Natalie, the self-appointed leader of the class and undisputed queen of spelling bees, rallied her troops. It should be a portrait of Mrs. Appleblatt, she declared, twirling her blonde ringlets with the confidence only a 10-year-old could muster. Jimmy, the class clown with a penchant for making glue mustaches, nodded sagely. Yes, but with superhero powers, he added with a mischievous grin. Mrs. Appleblatt, overhearing this, chuckled softly, sending a ripple of excitement through the class. Among the chaos, Marvin, the quiet kid with an artistic bent, grabbed the biggest brush he could find. He was content with painting the background a sprawling galaxy full of stars, comets, and a stray cat for good measure. Clara, an aficionado of all things pink and sparkly, took charge of the cape. Her brushstrokes were more enthusiastic than precise, but the cape shimmered with an eclectic mix of glitter and what could generously be described as a rainbow gone rogue. Meanwhile, Lucas, the meticulous one with the glasses perpetually slipping down his nose, was sketching a jetpack. The jetpack, fresh from his imagination, was modeled partly on his father's leaf blower and partly on his favorite science fiction show. Once complete, it looked like it was ready to propel Mrs. Appleblatt into orbit. Amid the flurry, an argument broke out between Timmy and Sarah over the nose. Timmy thought it should be tiny and cute, while Sarah, wielding a brush with the fervor of an avant-garde artist, insisted on big and bold, perhaps reflecting her own untamed spirit. Somehow, amidst their debate, the nose turned out looking like a potato. As the clock raced towards the final bell, the masterpiece began to take form. Albeit haphazardly, Mrs. Appleblatt's likeness was unmistakably her in a wonderfully absurd universe. The end result was a delightful mix of imagination, chaos, and a surprising amount of talent. Mrs. Appleblatt stood back, observing the colorful mayhem. Her eyes twinkled with joy behind her oversized glasses. "Bravo," she declared, as the class broke into spontaneous applause. Later, in the teacher's lounge, the painting would hang proudly, albeit slightly askew, as a testament to the kids' creativity and an immortalization of the mesmerizing and magnificent madness known as art in room 12, and Mrs. Appleblatt couldn't have been prouder or more amused.